Imagine today is day 0. You don't know English, or maybe you know a few words, but nothing that lets you hold a real conversation. Maybe you understand simple sentences, but speaking feels impossible. Maybe you freeze. Maybe you translate in your head. Maybe you feel the fear of making mistakes. But you have one thing, the one thing that matters more than talent, more than memory, more than any grammar book. You are determined, and that is the fuel of everything you're about to do in the next 30 days. In this 30-day program, you are not just studying English, you are activating English. You are building the 5 core systems every speaker needs: listening, speaking, sentence patterns, reaction speed, and real-life thinking. Each day is a micro step, small, simple, but powerful. And when these small steps stack up for 30 days, something big happens. Your brain stops translating. It starts producing. It starts recognizing patterns automatically. It starts behaving like a brain that can speak English. Before we begin, you must understand one rule, the rule that decides whether you succeed or fail. Learning a language is like building muscle. Every sentence you hear, every word you say, every repetition, every simple structure, it is all mental training. The more you expose your brain to English, the more connections it builds. And the stronger these connections become, the easier speaking becomes. So for the next 30 days, English cannot be a task. It must be a daily.
قدم اول قطع سر و صداست. سکوت کن. شبها گوشیتو دور بنداز. به صدای خودت گوش بده. به ذهنی که سالها ازش فرار کردی. تا وقتی درونت رو ساکت نکنی، قدرتت بیدار نمیشه. آرامش مقدمه اقتداره و تو باید از سکوت شروع کنی. از فردا روز اول شروع میشه. اما امروز فقط یه کار داری. تصمیم بگیری که دیگه اون آدم سابق نباشی. تصمیم بگیری که هر صبح حتی اگه هیچ کس تشویقت نکرد بازم برخیزی. چون مرد واقعی دنبال انگیزه نیست. اون دنبال دلیله و دلیل تو واضحه. میخوای خودت رو بسازی. میخوای به قدرت درونت برگردی. در این سفر 4 مرحله خواهی داشت. 1. هفته اول انضباط ذهنی، کنترل فکر، تمرکز و نظم. 2. هفته دوم کنترل احساسات، مدیریت خشم، ترس و آرامش. 3. هفته سوم، قدرت جسمی، بازسازی انرژی، قدرت و حضور. 4. کاریزما، نفوذ، اعتماد و اقتدار. هر مرحله یک بخش از خودت رو بیدار میکنه و وقتی به آخر برسی خودت رو نمیشناسی، چون تبدیل شدی به مردی که فقط در رویاها میدیدی. اما اول از همه تو باید قبول کنی که ضعیف بودی. باید با خودت صادق بشی. باید بپذیری که اشتباه کردی، اما هنوز تموم نشده. چون مرد واقعی از صفر دوباره شروع میکنه و این بار درست.
در هفته اول 3 اصل داری. 1. سکوت آگاهانه. هر روز 10 دقیقه فقط در سکوت باش. 2. نوشتن افکار. تمام افکارت رو بیرون بریز، خالی کن. 3. تمرکز بر هدف واحد. هر روز فقط یک هدف مشخص انجام بده، نه 10 تا نیمه کاره. تو نمیتونی قویشی اگه ذهنت شلوغ باشه. قدرت یعنی وضوح و وضوح یعنی تمرکز. ذهنت یه ابزار مقدسه، اما بیشتر مردم ازش مثل یه سطل زباله استفاده میکنند. میذارن هر کسی هر حرفی، هر تصویر و هر محتوایی واردش بشه. از امروز تو دروازه‌بان ذهنتی. هرچی رو نمیخوای در زندگیت اجازه نده وارد ذهنت بشه. چون هر فکری که وارد ذهنت شد یه دانه کاشته شد و دیر یا زود واقعیت میشه. ذهنت دشمن یا متحد توه. هر روز یا برات میجنگه یا علیهت. و فرقش فقط یه چیزه: نظم. نظم یعنی خودت تصمیم بگیری چی بخوری، چی بخونی، به چی فکر کنی. نظم یعنی مقاومت در برابر وسوسه‌های کوچک و مردی که در وسوسه‌های کوچک قویه، در میدانهای بزرگ شکست ناپذیره. در هفته اول ذهنت تو رو امتحان میکنه. بهت میگه ولش کن، فایده نداره، تو نمیتونی. اما اون لحظه‌ای که ادامه بدی، اون لحظه‌ایه که قدرت شروع میکنه به رشد کردن. هر بار که پیروز میشی بر ذهنت، یه بخش از روحت آزاد میشه. و هر بار که تسلیمش میشی، یه بخشی از قدرتت میمیره. هفته اول یعنی ساختن زمین ذهنیت. یه زمین پاک، آماده برای بذر قدرت. تو حالا دیگه فقط یه فکر کننده نیستی، تو معمار ذهنتی. و از فردا وارد فاز دوم میشی، کنترل احساسات. جایی که یاد میگیری چطور آرام بمونی حتی وسط طوفان.
On day 11, you practice storytelling, but in a very simple way. You tell short, real stories from your life. Not fiction, not long stories, just 5 to 7 sentences with a beginning, middle, and end. For example, last weekend I visited my friend. We drank coffee, talked about our plans, and walked in the park. It was relaxing and enjoyable. Storytelling teaches you to connect ideas naturally and gives you a sense of flow. It's also one of the first signs of real fluency. Day 12 introduces speaking endurance, your ability to speak continuously for longer periods without stopping. Today you practice 2-minute monologues. Choose any simple topic, your morning routine, your favorite food, your plans for the week, a movie you watched, or a memory. Then speak for 2 full minutes without stopping. You don't need perfect grammar, you just need movement. Fluency grows through continuous flow, not perfection. Day 13 brings listening and speaking together. Today you perform a shadowing exercise. You choose a short, simple audio, maybe a 2-minute conversation, and listen while repeating at the same time, not after, with. This technique is used by interpreters and professional language learners. It improves pronunciation, rhythm, speed, and natural flow. Shadowing can transform your speaking ability faster than almost any other exercise. And now we reach day 14, the final day of week 2. This is a big checkpoint. Today, you combine everything you learned so far: describing, questioning, storytelling, shadowing, and fast answering. You complete 4 tasks: 2-minute monologue, 20 fast Q&A questions, storytelling about a real moment in your week, and shadowing for 3 minutes. By the end of week 2, something important happens. You stop feeling like a beginner. You start feeling like a real speaker. You can ask questions, answer questions, describe anything around you, and speak continuously for 2 minutes. Most learners who study the traditional way reach this level in 3 to 6 months. You reached it in 14 days because your method is different, active, not passive. Now we begin week 3, the Fluency Expansion Week. This week is about constructing more complex ideas, speaking faster, and understanding longer content. Day 15 focuses on expressing opinions. If you can express your opinion, you can have deep conversations. Today you practice formulas like I think, I believe, in my opinion, for me. Then you support your opinion with reasons. I think learning English is important because it gives you more opportunities. In my opinion, traveling is the best way to learn about people. I believe practice is more important than grammar. Opinion-based sentences make your English more natural and more adult. On day 16, we focus on the past tense, but in a simple, real-life way. You learn common past verbs: went, saw, did, made, worked, studied, cooked, watched, played. You use them in real sentences. I went to the market yesterday. I watched a movie last night. I studied English for 1 hour. The past tense allows you to talk about memories, experiences, and stories, everything that makes conversations interesting. Day 17 teaches you the art of comparison. Comparing is essential in everyday communication. You learn bigger, smaller, better, worse, more, less. You practice with real-life examples. My phone is better than my old one. This city is bigger than my hometown. Studying in the morning is easier for me. Comparisons help you speak with more detail and clarity. On day 18, you practice real-life role plays. You imagine situations like ordering food, asking for directions, booking a hotel, or meeting someone new. You practice both sides of the conversation. For example, A, can I help you? B, yes, I'd like a coffee, please. Role plays prepare you for real conversations with real people. On day 19 is listening comprehension. Today, you listen to a short audio, pause, summarize what you heard in your own words, and then speak the summary again without notes. This teaches you to convert information into natural speech, a huge step. The light above the table casts soft shadows across the surface, and for a moment I noticed how ordinary everything seems, yet how extraordinary it feels when looked at closely. The rim of the glass, the texture of the wooden table, the faint reflection of the ceiling lights on the polished floor, they are small miracles ignored by those in a hurry. Here I notice. Here I see. People around me chatter, laugh, argue softly, yet their voices become part of a rhythm I don't need to join. It's like standing outside a river, feeling its current without diving in. I sip water slowly, each swallow deliberate, almost ceremonial. Each movement is a reminder that I exist in this moment, not rushing, not demanding, not performing. I think of previous nights spent in this exact routine, yet always distracted. The phone buzzing endlessly, the mind wandering to tasks unfinished. Here, at this table, even though the menu tempts with variety, I feel the appeal of nothingness, the space between things. Solitude isn't emptiness, it's fertile. It allows thoughts to grow without interference, ideas to take root, dreams to speak softly. The aroma of freshly baked bread drifts toward me, and I realize that even mundane sensations can evoke nostalgia. The smell reminds me of kitchens from childhood, of laughter echoing across tiled floors, of evenings that felt endless. Yet now I embrace that nostalgia without longing to relive it. It exists, alive in memory, while I remain here, fully present. I notice the small interactions, the way a spoon glints in a soft light, the careful step of someone placing a plate down, the slight nod exchanged between strangers at a nearby table. Moments like this are fleeting, yet meaningful. Life is composed of such micro-experiences, each one passing, each one shaping quietly. And I sit here, quietly acknowledging them, letting their presence remind me that observation can be its own form of participation. I reflect on the constant pressure to perform, to engage, to produce outcomes. Here none of that exists. No expectations, no judgment, no deadlines. Just me, just thoughts, sensations, and breathing. There is liberation in this solitude, an inner dialogue unrestrained, a conversation with the self without interruption. And I realize that these quiet meals are sacred, many retreats carved out of the chaos of life.
Day 25 brings everything together with advanced shadowing. Now you practice with faster audio, not too fast, but faster than beginner level. You focus on rhythm, flow, and speed. At this point, your tongue and brain are able to keep up. This day gives you a huge jump in pronunciation and natural speech. On day 26, you practice reaction challenges. You listen to short questions or prompts and answer instantly with no pauses. This is the final step toward killing translation. Your goal is fast, automatic responses. The faster you respond, the more your brain learns to think in English. Day 27 is real-life simulation day. You simulate real conversations you're likely to face, meeting new people, asking for help, making small talk, talking about your job, or explaining your hobbies. You practice both sides of the dialogue to train flexibility. When you can handle both roles, you are prepared for any situation. Day 28 is your fluency test. You speak continuously for 5 minutes about a single topic. No script, no memorization, just you and your English. You will make mistakes, that's normal. The goal is movement, not perfection. When you reach 5 minutes, you will feel a huge surge of confidence. You're no longer a beginner. On day 29, you do a complete 360-degree review. You repeat every major exercise from the past month: shadowing, Q&A, storytelling, monologues, opinion speaking, role plays, and description. This review strengthens every skill you've built and prepares your mind for the final day. And now we arrive at day 30, the moment you've been working toward. This day is not about studying, it's about proving to yourself what you can do. You have a conversation, either with a real person, an online partner, or even with yourself in a structured dialogue. You introduce yourself, ask questions, answer questions, tell stories, describe your routine, express your opinion, and talk about your plans. This is your graduation. By the end of this day, you have achieved what many people spend months or years trying to do. You can actually hold a conversation in English. Your journey does not end here, but this is the point where your identity changes. You are no longer someone learning English. You are someone who uses English. And once you reach this level, progress becomes automatic. Your brain now has the patterns, the speed, the confidence, and the experience to keep improving naturally. 30 days ago, you started with 0. Now you have structure, fluency, communication ability, and real conversational power. And the most important thing you gained is not vocabulary or grammar, it is belief. Belief that you can learn, adapt, and grow faster than you ever expected.
This is the 30-day transformation. This is the difference between studying English and activating English.